Hello, my name's Juicy Pat Lucy, and you're listening to episode 22 of the Juicy Details. It is a new month, which means another new theme. This month's theme, February 2014, is going to be known as Perm Month. Now, you probably don't know off the top of your head what perm means, so I'm going to explain to you. It's P-A-R-M, perm. Is that even a real word? I doubt it. Someone look it up. I'm not gonna. The P stands for promoters. A stands for announcers. R, referees. M, managers. P-A-R-M, perm month, here on the Juicy Details. Should be an exciting month, because I will be, as I said, interviewing all these personalities involved in professional wrestling, and tonight I interview M, a manager in the world of professional wrestling, and he is quite the character. So I'm gonna, without wasting any more time, I'm gonna get him on. At this time, please welcome to the Juicy Details. He is known as the manager of the Wrecking Crew. Please welcome Sidney Bakabella. How you doing right now, Sidney?
I'm all right. I'm watching $25,000 Pyramid, and Lonnie Anderson is actually the biggest idiot I've ever seen.
I'm not surprised by that, to be honest.
She's all looks, no brains. What am I saying? All looks, no brains. Just like that broad that they got Papo's kid managing now.
You make a valid point, Sidney.
Yeah, she's gonna grow up to be a rat. I'm telling you.
Ooh, wow, strong words there.
Absolutely, probably all gonna be pilled out too.
Well, I want to get right into this, Sidney. It was this past weekend. A lot of fans are wondering about the aftermath of National Pro Wrestling Day. What we witnessed, what many fans around the world witnessed live on YouTube, live in person, was you and the Wrecking Crew, I'm talking about Devastation Corporation, Jaka, Olga the Usurper, you came towards the end of the show amongst a group of 20, 30 other men. I could barely count, but I know the BDK were involved, Gakito, Colony Extreme Force, Jimmy Jacobs. I mean, it was madness, Sidney. So I want to... And then the big brawl erupted with the group known as Chikara. It seems like they're back in full force, and I don't want to get on your skin, but it seems like they ran you guys out of town. So I'm going to get your thoughts, opinions of what exactly happened, and is there anything you can tell us as far as what led to this event? Oh,
there's a whole lot I could tell you. Yeah, there were about, I think the count was 28 of us. And the guy with the money, who I'm not going to mention any names yet, but the guy in the money, he pays us Hogan money. You know, all of these wrestling-ish shows and all of these little outlaw promotions around the country, what they're going to do is they're going to try to pay us a couple of $100 here, a couple of $100 there. Sometimes they're short, sometimes there's nothing there, and then we have to steal the bottom rope. But, you know, this guy comes up with Hogan money. When I talk Hogan money, I'm talking, 5 figures of money. And it's enough to feed myself, feed the Devastation Corporation, like the Usurper, and, of course, Jaka. And he puts the money in front of us, and I look around, I'm like, this has got to be a rip. Nobody's got this kind of money. But yet, this guy comes through, pays us twice. So we shut down the outlaw company in Boomtown, New Jersey, and evidently people said that was the best one because it was happening all the time. So we shut that one down. We did an amazing job for this guy. The dude was really happy. And then he gets us together, pays us a little more money, puts us up in the Sheridan in Parsippany, New Jersey, and it looks like a castle, and has us go out there and do the same thing. We didn't know that there was going to be a lot of people there. We didn't know that they called in for the reinforcements. So, we actually got into a little bit of a skirmish, and the Estonian Thunder Frog, I'm telling you right now, I'm sure you're going to be listening because I'm sure you're a big mark. So I want you to know, one of these days I'm going to get you back. And it's not going to be in a wrestling ring. No, I'm going to take a poop in your gear bag. I'm going to cut the laces on your boots so you can't work. I'm going to hurt you where it affects you the most, and that's your pocket. I know how to police the boys, and that's what I'm going to do. So they all start fighting everywhere. They write letters onto the camera and everything else. And then it was one of the coolest freaking things I've ever seen. I don't know how the hell the guy built it or anything else, but he shows up in a freaking DeLorean. Back to the few, I mean, these cars, you know, they're everywhere nowadays, I get it, but it's such a famous car right now, and, you know, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I like how the doors open up on those things. If I had a chance, I would have pissed in the gas tank, though.
Well, that was quite a mouthful from you, Sidney. I mean, so as far as motivation goes, was this just all about money, or was there any personal reasons to try to destroy Chikara?
On my end, it's all business. It's all money. This guy's going to pay me. If Chikara would have paid me more money, we would have gone out there and helped fight with Chikara, fight off all the heels. But you know what? They don't want to put up the money, so we're going to go where the money goes. It's that simple. We have no other motivation. We just want to sit there. We want to make money. That's all it is. There is no other motivation. If the kid with the bad tattoo artist would just pay us, we'll fight with him. We don't care.
Well, you make a fair point there. I guess I can see where you're coming from. I mean, if the side with the most money,
Look,
I guess
you got the guy there's a guy up in New York right now putting every territory out of business, taking every guy. He's going to Texas, he's going to Minnesota, he's going to Florida, he's going to California, he's going to Oregon. He took Billy Jack Haynes from Oregon. So we have to know where our next payday is coming from. If we have a chance to make money, we're going to do it. I'm not staying in a Motel 6 anymore. I'm staying in Sheridan's. I'm staying in all of these really nice Hyatt Regencies. I'm going to go hang out at the Donald Trump Hotel down in Atlantic City, the new one there, the one from India there, the Taj Mahal. That's absolutely beautiful. We're going to head down there soon.
Wow. Sounds like quite the journey for you. I mean, now...
Hogan money.
Oh, yeah, Hogan money. I mean, that's quite the pocket full of money right there, so...
It is, and I don't have to shoot anything in Max Smash Master's ass either.
Now, can you confirm or deny that Vince McMahon is the one behind all this money?
No, I wouldn't work for Vince Jr. Vince Jr., I've actually had some meetings with him recently, and you know what? We're cut from the same mold. We want to make some money. However, Vince Jr., if he is behind it, he's not the one that paid me.
Well, alright, you definitely put some rumors to rest.
Yeah. I mean, Vince Jr., he's gonna want to, he's too busy trying to put Vern out of business. That's where he's all at. And I'm telling you right now, he's gonna stop worrying about Vern. Vern was still wrestling in 1968. Alright, he's got to worry about the guy down south. That's the guy with the money and the guy with the brain. You got that little geek there that left from Vern, so he's going to have some issues.
Well, I definitely look forward to see what happens next with this whole war. I mean...
Me too.
Anything can be possible. I mean, May 25th is only a couple months away.
I'm excited for it. We love a good fight. We love a good payday. And on top of that, we love to tell a good story. Things got dark. Things got dark for the Chikara family over the last 6 or 8 months there. Things got really, really dark to the point where nobody knew what was going on. And then when all of this happened, and that the kid with the bad tattoo artist there, he wrote that on the piece of paper, everybody pops for it. Everybody got excited. We even got excited because we knew that there was going to be another payday and another fight. So we're really, really excited for it.
Yeah, yes, exactly. A lot of people are excited for this. According to them, according to Chikara, only less than 100 tickets remain for the show, and they've only been on sale for a couple days. I mean, that's incredible. You gotta admit.
They went on sale halftime of the Super Bowl, and evidently the first row already sold out. And Devastation Corporation, everybody knows that they're going to be there, so Chikara should really be paying us even more money. But they're not going to. Well, I'm telling you right now, if we show up, and let's just say that May 25th is an open date right now for us, you know, something good may happen.
So you can So we can say that we might just see the Devastation Corporation, Olga the Usurper, and Jaka, and yourself. We might see all you there on May 25th.
You may be able to see us. You may be able to see us down the road. What if the boss decides to run an outlaw show in the parking lot? Then you can come out in the parking lot and watch good wrestling, not a bunch of guys in their pajamas.
Well, let's get into your career. Let's talk about yourself for a little bit. I want to know, first off, how did you first become a fan of professional wrestling?
Well, my mother was a ring rat down in Dallas, Texas, and she actually, I believe that Ed McLemore is my father. I can't prove that, though, but I got my start in the business selling popcorn at the Ed McLemore shows at the Sportatorium. A nickel a bag, he would put me out there, and then he would give me a penny from each of the bags of popcorn I sold. So I had to hustle right away. I had to put on my good looks all the time. I had a mustache when I was really, really young, and, I was about 6 years old. I drew on a mustache. Sometimes Fritz would draw the mustache on me himself, and I would work at the Sportatorium selling the popcorn, and I would always just love the matches. Love them. I love wrestling from Texas. All the greats came out of there, and then over the last couple of years, we got to see some greats come in. Kowalski came in, a lot of people like that. And it's just been a fun ride down there. But when they gave me my shot, they said, Sidney, we see something in you. You're a hustler out there. And here I am stealing money out of all the boys' pockets already. When they go out there to wrestle, they think I'm this cute little kid. I'll go in their gear bag and steal a little bit of their payday for me because I'm just selling the popcorn. So, I got in a spot down in Texas, learned how to bump from the retarded Von Erich there, the one that, he's just retarded. And, he taught me how to bump, so I don't like to bump because evidently I don't know how to do it right because I was taught by him. I don't have to bump. The rest is history. Got on the road and met some great people. Met, Bob Geigel up in St. Louis, who taught me a lot about the business aspect of it, and it's just been great ever since.
Or as far as your managing career, what do you say, or do you have any influences in it?
A lot of influences, actually. Bobby Davis, one of the greatest managers of all time, and that guy there could talk anybody into an arena. But that's pretty much the big one. I love the Grand Wizard, love Fred Blassie. Think those guys are absolutely amazing men. And then, a surprising one that a lot of people may not know is that kid down in Memphis there from the TV show, Andy Kaufman. Big fan of him as well.
All right. Well, let's get into some of the people you're managing right now. Let's start off with Devastation Corporation. This is the team that, first introduced yourself, and, most people found out about you was through the Devastation Corporation when you guys debuted for the Wrestling Is promotion a couple years ago. It was, I believe, in summer of 2000. And I can't remember the year for the life of me, but
yeah, a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago is what we did. We were brought in, and it's Max Smashmaster and Blaster McMassive, or as I like to call him, the fat one and the black one. And then we got, over time, we saw that a lot of these people were doing, three guys. You got the Freebirds down there doing it. You got Demolition up in New York doing it, Edie and Darso. So we said, why not add Rumble Crunch? So now we got the fat one, the black one, and the smelly one, because that guy can smell up a car on a road trip like you wouldn't believe. He also, and this here is an inside scoop for you, Flex Rumble Crunch hates male nudity.
Whoa.
Hates it. Hates it. I love to be naked. I love to be naked. I am naked anytime there's no one around. I will be naked. So when I get into the hotel room, into that Motel 6, or now the Sheraton or the Best Western, first thing I do is take off the Zubaz. Flex Rumble Crunch, first time I did it, he started praying. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing.
That is quite the juicy detail, Sidney. Maybe a little too juicy.
I hear you. But, those guys, they came about, they were all working the circuits there. Max Smashmaster is a guy, he's been working a long time. For as big as he is, he's just as good. Max Smashmaster was one of the best unkept secrets in professional wrestling at the time that I hooked up with him and got him on the road. And then Blast McMassive's still a little green. But I'm telling you right now, you look at him and you're afraid. Blast McMassive, he is just awe-inspiring. If I could look like any human being, it would either be Burt Reynolds or Blast McMassive.
You make an excellent point with that, with Blaster. He's definitely quite the intimidating individual.
Yeah, terrifying. And then Rumble Crunch, he's a journeyman. You know, he's one of those guys who's been going territory to territory, and people see him and everything else. The kid needed a gimmick, we put him in a gimmick, and now the kid's making money with us. It's awesome.
Now, you just mentioned their name a couple minutes ago. I want to talk about the moment it was, again, a couple years ago, where Devastation Corporation, it was at Chikara, where they met in the ring. I never thought I would see this, but they met up with Demolition, Axe, and Smash. What was that moment like for you? Do you remember what it was like for the boys in Devastation Corporation? Because being there live, that was surreal to see.
It really was. You have the Devastation Corporation, the originators of the gimmick, and then you got the guys that stole it from them, Axe and Smash, coming out. Now, all the people in the Chikara locker room were kayfabe in this room. Like, there was this room back there, and, nobody knew what was in there, and then all of a sudden we're out there, we're beating up all these little greased up skinny kids that want to do flips, and all of a sudden we hear that music, and Vince Jr. sends down Demolition. We couldn't believe it. It was a surreal moment, and it caught us off guard because everybody was so afraid that they had to go and call up Vince Jr. himself and get him to send down two of his best guys, and then it just happens to be the two guys that stole our gimmicks. So right away, these two just want to fight, but it threw them off, and it was a surreal moment, man. It really was, seeing all of our hard work pay off in that match.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, again, just being there live, that was one of my favorite moments of that year. It was quite the sight to see. I would love to see a rematch one of these days.
Oh, so would I. We're trying to get a couple of promoters from around the country to book it, but Demolition's dodging us. A bunch of chumps, and now they've got Crush. So we want to do a 6-man.
Oh, a trios match. All right. I can dig that.
That's right.
Well, it was later on that you added a couple more people to your crew, which now is known as the Wrecking Crew. Let's talk about the two individuals known as Jaka and Olga the Usurper. How did you get in contact with these two guys, and how did you get them to join your group?
Well, with Jaka, it was Kabuki. He told me about this little Indian tribe down in the rainforest where they're just producing pro wrestlers. So I had to go see it for myself, and I see this guy. Here is Jaka. And he wasn't Jaka when I met him. His name was and I'm just sitting there, and I am baffled by how good this guy is and how smooth he is in the ring. And then, it's not when he's wrestling, he gets out of the ring and starts banging his head on coconut trees to make the coconuts fall so he could feed his family. That right there was a real man, and I knew that I had to bring him to the United States of America, and God bless the USA and a little bit of grease in the palms of the politicians to get this guy a visa, so that way we can get him into the country and so everybody could see him, because the dude is absolutely amazing to work, and his head is the weapon.
Okay, now how about Olga? How did you get in contact with them?
Oleg.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
It's all right. Olga's his wife. Oleg the Usurper, he was, I saw him at the Wrestling-ish shows, and I'm like, man, this guy is incredible. Just everything that I like about wrestling. One of my favorite wrestlers is John Nord, and John Nord will not come and work for these outlaw promotions. So if I can't have Nord, I'm going to have the next best thing, and that's Oleg the Usurper. And Oleg, he's my favorite guy to work with, and that's an absolute shoot. When we go out there, I feel like every time we're together, it's just magic, and there's something fun, and the guy doesn't even want money, which is the best part about it. He just he doesn't know the concept of money, so I get all the money, I feed the idiot an onions. But he is so much fun to work with. He's just a great guy. If he loves you forever, and if he hates you, well, it's off with your head.
He definitely seems like the wild card of the group. Would you agree with that?
Oh, Jesus, I can't control him. I just let it happen. And, sometimes it's not good. Like, there was a time up in Albany, New York, where he knocked something on some little kid. Little kid ended up going to the hospital and everything else. And it was a pure accident. And I knew at that moment that, he needed a manager. He needed somebody to reel him in and to try to keep him under control. I can't do it, though. So most of the time, I just sit there and hold up an onion because I know that he likes onions. So I hold up an onion. It sort of controls him a little bit. But with Oleg, I just let it happen because the man, he's character personified. He is so good, and why this guy isn't in every territory everywhere is beyond me, because professional wrestling needs more characters right now.
No, I agree, definitely. And Oleg, he's as about as a character as you can get in professional wrestling.
Everything he does, from his facials to his eyes, just everything, his body movements, it's just amazing. And, now I actually showed him how to use a tanning bed, so he's gonna come out looking like Blaster McMaster if he's not careful.
Well, you have quite the group. You have 5 guys in your group right now in the Wrecking Crew. So my question is there anyone else all over the territories that you would like to add if you had the chance?
If I had the chance, the one guy that I would add in a second would be John Nord. I love John Nord, everything about John Nord. I wanna work with John Nord, but he won't do the Outlaws. He won't do the terror. He won't do anything like that. He's like, I'm only working for Vince or I'm working for Vern, and that's it. But other than that, there's really nobody on the Outlaw promotion. And what it is you need to either be a monster or you need to be something special. Jaka is something special, and the man is a monster, but he's a different kind of savage. He's a different kind of monster. It's like when Lou Albano was managing that murderer there down in Allentown. It was something different, and that's what I see with Jaka. Oleg, Flex, Blaster, Max, of course, Max, my money. That right there, these guys are all just monsters. And there is no one like that out there right now. If you look at every single wrestling territory that there are no more monsters. It's now guys that could be in the front row. And we come out there and we look like we belong because we are in the sport of the gods.
No, I think you make an excellent point in that. Definitely not a lot of monsters, not a lot of big guys you see in these territories, you see in these promotions. And as far as monsters go, I think you have the biggest monsters, the baddest monsters all over professional wrestling right now with Devastation Corporation, Jaka, and Oleg. Yeah, they're badasses.
Like you always hear these stories. My favorite is Haku. Haku is a badass. I've seen that man beat up 14 guys in a bar down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And, that's what wrestling needs more of. Wrestling doesn't need guys that are going to sit there and play the Sega Genesis. Wrestling doesn't need guys that are going to sit there and watch Silk Stockings or La Femme Nikita every Monday night. No. Professional wrestling needs tough guys. They need fighters, and that's what my Wrecking Crew is. Professional wrestling fears the Wrecking Crew.
Well, one of my last questions is, where do you see your Wrecking Crew? Where do you see yourself in the next couple years? What do you think the future is for you and your crew?
in the next couple of years, I could tell you personally, myself, I will be retired on a beach somewhere down in probably South Carolina. I'm thinking Myrtle Beach. It's a great place to retire. That way, if I ever want to unretire like Terry Funk, I could just go and call up, one of the Crockett's or something like that. I see the territories are going to die. We all know it. We all see the writing on the wall. I'd like to make sure that the Devastation Corporation, Oleg and Jocko all have a place up in Vince Jr. That's why I've mended fences with them. So, we could send them and do the tryouts and things like that. We don't do tryouts, though. We go in there and we're going to make money for you. I just see these guys being the biggest thing in pro wrestling in the next couple of years. I promise you that.
Well, I hope that's a promise you can keep. Well,
and I will. I have a face you can trust, Juicy Pat Lucy.
You do. You absolutely do. Your face, your hair, your mustache, everything's
real.
Everything.
I am a real man. Everything's real, from my hair to my toes.
Well, is there anything you would like to plug to end this show?
The only thing that I want to plug is May the 25th. May the 25th, 2014, in Easton, Pennsylvania, Chikara returns. I don't know if I'm going to be there yet. The boss hasn't told me. But I know that date it's open for me, and I have a funny feeling that even if I'm not booked by the company themselves, I'm pretty sure that old Sidney Bakabella and Devastation Corporation, Oleg the Usurper, and Jocko will be there. So go to ChikaraPro.com for all the tickets and put that money in their pocket, because they're going to need it if they want to win this war.
Again, you make an excellent point. Well, Sidney, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, busy schedule, and coming on here on the show.
Thank you very much. You have a great night. I'll see you around the circuit.
Thank you, and for Sidney Bakabella, my name's Juicy Pat Lucy, and thank you for listening to episode 22 of The Juicy Details.